Marietta College. $1,200 of your closest friends across 100 acres. This is home. Coming up on WCMO NewsCenter 15, the Armory Square in downtown Marietta was the site of the first ever Dachshund Derby.
And several voter right claims were left unresolved.
We'll also get a sneak peek at the weather for the Halloween weekend. Stay with us. WCMO NewsCenter 15 starts now. Hello and welcome to today's edition of WCMO NewsCenter 15. I'm Morgan Alstrom.
And I'm Jalen Kiero Gordon. Topping our news today.
A famous grizzly bear beloved for decades by countless tourists, biologists, and professional wildlife photographers in Grand Teton National Park is dead after being struck by a vehicle in western Wyoming. The bear, named Grizzly number 399, died Tuesday on a highway in Snake River Canyon south of Jackson. The driver was unhurt. A yearling cub was with the grizzly when she was struck and thought not believed to be hurt. Its whereabouts are unknown.
Russia has helped amplify and spread false and misleading internet claims about recent hurricanes in the United States. The content spread by Russian state media and network of social media accounts and websites criticizes the federal response to hurricanes Helene and Milton, exploiting legitimate concerns about recovery effort in an attempt to paint American leaders as incompetent and corrupt. The claims about the storms also include fake images created by artificial intelligence.
Well, the temps are still high. Maybe I'm imagining it, but there's a feeling of fall in the air.
That's right. I've been noticing some leaves changing too.
Landon is here with the current conditions. What's going on outside right now, Landon?
Well, temperature-wise, we're experiencing a bit of a reversal of what we experienced last week. We started off rather warm and we're gradually cooling down. Right now it feels like about 56 degrees outside with relatively sunny conditions. Moderate UV index reads 4, 14 level air quality, excellent, and a very low pollen count of 0.8. The winds are going to be running around the east-northeasterly direction, about 7 miles per hour. The humidity is roughly 57%. Sunrise occurred around 7:45 this morning, and sunset should be occurring roughly around 6:33 later on this evening. So it was a rather warm beginning to the week, and as the week continues and we get closer and closer to the weekend, things are starting to cool down. But how much longer is that going to last, especially going into Halloween weekend? We'll talk more about that when I return later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. This past Saturday, the Armory Square in downtown Marietta was the site of the first ever Dachshund Derby. This event resulted in shoulder-to-shoulder attendances and featured a noon parade before the event where participating Dachshund owners dressed their furry friends up in costumes and paraded them through town on their way to the race's location. The pups competed in 5 different racing categories classified by age, in which more than 90 dachshunds participated. Caitlin Streeter, the event's organizer, remarked on the event in an interview with the Marietta Times, saying, quote, "I moved here to Marietta a few years ago, and I told Jen Tinkler with Marietta Main Street that I think that a Dachshund Derby would be great for this whole town. And she said, yeah, sure. A bunch of us volunteers have been organizing this since January, and I wanted to do it because I love the breed," end quote. The event also raised money for Marietta Main Street and the Humane Society of the Mid-Ohio Valley.
Several voter rights claims were left unresolved earlier this month as the state of Ohio began to review and accept early voting ballots in this current fall election. The League of Women Voters notified Republican Secretary of State Frank LaRose that voters set to cast their ballots in the upcoming election could have been removed from voting rolls in several state counties. LaRose's office is currently reviewing the claims while national groups across the U.S. have raised their efforts to challenge voter registration legitimacy, to ensure fair election results, and to prevent potential ballot harvesting.
Coming up, a new law to help protect our animals.
And an inside look into one of Ohio's local elections.
Stay with us.
At Marietta College, teamwork goes beyond athletics. At Marietta, we promote individuality, creativity, and resilience. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, we are Pile Nation. This is the time, this is the place. We are pioneers. We are Marietta College.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones, and the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
As temperatures drop, experts warn that several unwelcome guests will soon try to make their way indoors if they have not yet already. An assistant professor at the Ohio State University Extension recently wrote an article that said fall home invaders with predicted weather conditions could cause a flood of insects into homes. The 3 bugs that you could expect to see are box holder bugs, Asian lady beetles, and stink bugs.
A recent Ohio Supreme Court ruling and pending in legislation are drilling down the animal cruelty law in Ohio. The High Court ruled Wednesday that when Alonzo Kiles of Cleveland poured bleach in his basement in 2021 to get a stray cat to leave, the ruling overturned a lower court determination of Ohio's law ruling that the animal cruelty statute did not apply to strays. The Ohio Supreme Court said although the law is not clearly written, the law protects all dogs and cats, including strays. Last week, a new legislation was sponsored to clarify the law's ambiguity.
With election season in full swing, Marietta College hosted a candidate forum on October 2nd to give the public a chance to learn about some of the candidates. WCMO's Zachary Wursel covered the 94th state representative race.
The Ohio 94th state representative seat is on the ballot this election year. Incumbent Representative Republican Jay Edwards has reached his term limit, promoting 2 new candidates onto the ballot. Kevin Ritter is prepared to embrace the pioneer spirit.
As your state representative, I believe it's essential to protect Second Amendment rights.
Edwards endorsed Ritter, stating, "I've seen what an effective and sincere advocate Kevin has been for our corner of the state." Kevin was born and raised in the Detroit area and attended Central Michigan University, where he graduated in 1990 with a history and political science degree. Ritter wants to preserve what is best for the next generation. This includes addressing aging water and sewer systems and updating the quality of bridges and roads. Wenda Sheard is for the people as a Democratic candidate.
Politics is at its core relationships between people. I have to work with not only the House Democratic caucus, but members of the House Republican caucus.
Sheard grew up in the Cleveland area, earning a bachelor's in law from Cleveland State University in 1979 and her PhD in political science from the University of North Texas in 2004. She has worked as an attorney in Athens County for 22 years, working under judges of both political parties. We need accessible health care for every person in our district without long waits or long commutes to see medical professionals.
There's shenanigans up there, and a lot of it's due to the gerrymandering, the severe gerrymandering that's happened.
Coming up, an inside look at voting season in Ohio.
And coming up in entertainment news, a band celebrates an anniversary.
And what does Mother Nature have in store for us this Halloween weekend? We'll have your 5-day forecast coming up after the break. Stay with us.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
There's a place for everyone at Marietta College. Our place is here as esports competitors. This is Marietta College Esports.
Since it's voting season, what are some things we should know?
Mandy Amos, the Washington County Board of Elections Director, was able to share her thoughts. What does she have to say, Evie?
Hello, welcome to your guide to voting. My name is Evie Gravelin and I am here to support you through gaining your best knowledge on why and how to vote for this upcoming election. Mandy Amos, who is the director of the Washington County Board of Elections, was able to sit down with me and share her best knowledge through some questions that I had asked her. For the first question, I asked her, why is it important for us to vote? And this is what she said.
It's important for everyone to vote because this is, what makes our country. That's one of our fundamental things here in this country is your right to vote. And that helps us pick our future. That way everybody gets a chance to, pick what the future is going to be like for our country.
Now, when does voting start and end, and where do we go to?
The last day that we do have voting here in our office, if they come to do that, is the Sunday before Election Day. So that would be November 3rd. So that's the last day that they can come in, which is a Sunday. But we are open that day from 1 to 5. So, but yeah, just if you're not registered yet or if you're not sure, just make sure and check that out. And we'd be glad to help you. Or like I said, just go to our website and check it out too.
Well, that is your short crash course to voting. I would like to thank Mandy for donating her time to speak with me. And I hope this gave you a more clear understanding about voting because I feel very educated. Thank you for watching, and I'm Evie Gravelin, and I'll see you later.
When a big album anniversary comes up, most bands remaster the disc with the highest tech possible.
Well, one band decided to go another way.
Here's Landon with the Hollywood Minute.
That's right, guys. For the 30th anniversary of Dookie, Green Day demastered the album. That's right, demastered, releasing each track on a different, unusual format. From When I Come Around on an old-fashioned wax cylinder to Basket Case on a big mouth Billy Bass. You can hear all 15 formats and enter a drawing to buy one at dookiedemastered.com. In other words, here's your latest look at Sean Baker's Honora, which won the Palme d'Or at this year's Cannes Film Festival. Mikey Madison plays a Brooklyn sex worker who marries the son of a Russian billionaire, and neither family approves. Honora opened in New York and Los Angeles last weekend. Well, that's all I got for Hollywood for today. I'm Landon Santini. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. In other words, we're finally getting some sunny days.
Yes, very much needed. But I wonder how long until we see some rain again?
Well, Landon is back here with us with the details. Landon, what can we expect from Mother Nature for the rest of the week?
Well, Morgan, I can tell you one thing we shouldn't be expecting. We shouldn't be expecting rain anytime soon. The east-northeasterly winds are going to be pushing any amount of precipitation that had been lingering around the Ohio state upwards north past the Great Lakes into our northern neighbors up in Canada. But otherwise here in the Mid-Ohio Valley for a good chunk of this week and for the day and the upcoming weekend ahead, yeah, it's a pretty calm, relaxing, clear day in the Mid-Ohio Valley, and that seems to be the case as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Moving on to the 5-day forecast, you can also see that as a result, the temperatures are going to be declining a little bit with an expected high of 70 as the sunny conditions continue, climbing downwards even further on Saturday with an expected high of 62. Cooling down even further for the churchgoers on Sunday with an expected high of 58. And we begin the next work week with the temperature starting to climb up again with an expected high of 67 and sunny conditions, and continuing on into Tuesday with an expected high of 72 and partly sunny conditions. So for the weekend ahead, we're not going to have to be worrying about rain anytime soon. Although at this point, I would think the bigger concern would be, is it going to be raining for Halloween? We won't be able to determine that for a few more days now. But let's keep our fingers crossed. We wouldn't want your little ones to go trick-or-treating out in the rain now, would we? But that's all I got for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. My fingers certainly are crossed. Coming up, a high school football winning streak ended this past weekend.
And an update on the upcoming World Series matchup.
Eric will have those stories and more. Stay with us.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run. This is one tricky obstacle course. He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him. Oh, the fridge. Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle. Now he's just got to get out of there. Look what dropped from the sky. Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Did you know that over 700 kids enter the foster care system every day?
700?
700.
Just talking about foster care can help foster care.
Okay, let's try this.
Donate your small talk.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us now for sports is Eric Thurman.
Eric, tell us about everything.
After winning the first set, the Marietta College volleyball team dropped the next opponent against Muskingum University, only to come back to take the final two sets and defeat the Fighting Muskie on Tuesday evening. With the win, the Pioneers remain undefeated at 18-0 overall and 6-0 in the Ohio Athletic Conference to play with. The loss of Muskingum falls to 10-10 overall and 2-4 in the OAC. Muskingum got off to a quick start as they jumped out to a 6-3 lead, getting a pair of kills from Mackenzie Coons. Later in the set, the Pioneers made a 10-point run, fueled by a ton of kills from Mia Silva, a pair of kills from Maggie Fields to rush to a 6-9 advantage after some trade points. Marietta extended the lead further as Ella Boyer and Sophie Evans brought some powerful kills to push the lead to 20-12. Marietta College rivaled Muskingum University homecoming with a lopsided 38-6 victory Saturday evening and retained the silver trophy for the 8th straight year. The Pioneers improved to 6-0 overall and 5-0 in the Ohio Athletic Conference. Muskingum falls to 4-2 on the season and 3-2 in the Marietta features one of the best defense in NCAA Division III football, and the Muskingum leads that the hard way on the field opening drive. The game, Muskingum drove to the Pioneers' 10-yard line before falling to convert a 4th and 2 turnover. The ball turnover on downs. The Pioneers' defense sacked the Muskingum quarterback 3 times, forced a pair of interceptions, including a pick 6, blocking a field goal attempt and holding its 6 straight opponents under 100 yards rushing for the game. The Williamstown Yellow Jackets ended their 26-game winning streak over this weekend game against the Frankfort Falcons this past Saturday in a 27-7 game ending score. The 7 points put up by the Yellow Jackets is the lowest amount of points scored in a game since the year of 2020. The Jackets coach Chris Baker remained on this snap streak, saying this quote, "It's always easy after these games to point fingers and point out the problems, but we're not in the business of that. We're going to identify the problems and figure the solution, and you got to pull together and find a better after this game." Frankfort improves to a 7-0 record for the year through far with a game in Beverly Springs on the horizon. After the win against the New York Mets in Game 6 of the N Championship, the series lost. Los Angeles Dodgers seek the face in the New York Yankees in the World Series. The Dodgers pitcher Otanga leads the way for his team. Next challenge, the New York Yankees will face off against teams and games on the World Series on Friday at the Dodger Stadium. Dodgers outfielder Hernandez remained on these next games, saying, quote, "It is not going to be easy, but we have the team, we have the help, and we have going for the World Series trophy." The Yankees have been beaten LA in 8 out of 11 World Series that have connected it in. That's all for the trophy. And back to the desk.
Thanks, Eric. And back at the desk with us is Landon for a final look at the forecast.
Well, to sum up as quickly as possible, we started off rather warm temperatures this week, but as we get closer and closer to the weekend, we'll climb downwards from the mid-70s to the low 60s, going up to 58 on Sunday, before starting to warm up again as we begin the work week on Monday into like the low 70s. So we're not going to have to be dealing with any rain or sleet or hail for the weekend ahead. But let's just hope that continues for at least one more week as we get closer and closer to Halloween. So stuff like trick-or-treats or any Halloween parties the neighborhood's got going on doesn't get impeded too badly. I, for one, am looking forward to that.
I am too. No rain for me.
No rain this weekend, especially for Marietta College's homecoming this weekend. That's pretty exciting. No rain, lovely sunshine. The kids get to go out and trick-or-treat with no rain.
Oh,
and it's going to be a little bit warm. What a great weekend.
Well, that's all we have for today. For For all of us here at WCMO NewsCenter 15 and Marietta College Broadcasting, thanks again for joining us. You can catch us Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon 30 and 6:30 during most weeks of the semester, or you can search for WCMO Television on YouTube.com. See you next time, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.